Hi and welcome to this episode of JFWA Academy News. I'm your host, Shayla Pointer. Today for our Shining Knots segment, we have Bailey Brewer. So Bailey, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Bailey Brewer. I've been here at the Academy since halfway through my sophomore year. I transferred second semester from Cumberland Gap. I do a few clubs and a sport. I do soccer, and I've done soccer for about 2 years under Coach Mars. She was an amazing coach, love her to death. And my second year I was captain. Some clubs I'm in, or like extra activities, I'm in the Mountain Fiesta, I'm in Leadership Claiborne, I'm in SGA, Student Activities, Beta Club, and as well as Key Club.
So tell us a little bit more about your experience with Leadership Claiborne.
Leadership Claiborne, so far we're probably about 4 or 5 meetings in. Leadership Claiborne, you go around and you learn more about your county as a whole and like how to make it better and to bring your experience back to your school. So if any senior next year wants to apply, I highly recommend.
What are some of the activities that you do with Leadership Claiborne?
We go to different parts of the county. Like one day we did a tourist day and we flew an airplane. I didn't fly, I'm not flying. But some people flew in an airplane. We went, you go out to eat, you just kind of go to different businesses. Like we have a business day and we're planning on going to England's, Giles, just stuff around your county and what's amazing about your county, what's different, what makes you unique compared to other districts and counties.
So tell us about your role within the Mountain Fiesta.
Well, I'm part of Spanish 3 and that's the main planners. Every Monday we set aside one day for the Mountain Fiesta and I believe it's going to be amazing. It's a Latin American and Appalachian festival intertwined and we're going to have food from both sides. And we're going to have crafts from both sides, music from both sides. We're going to have a concert Saturday night. It's called Appalachian. They're a band from Louisville. And they're going to sing, and they intertwine Latin American music and Appalachian music.
That's neat. So there's going to be a band at the Mountain Fiesta. What else do you have planned for it?
Like I said previously, we'll have food, and we'll even have pupusas if you don't know. It's a corn tortilla that's you flat out and you put refried beans and cheese and you just fry it up. That's what we've been doing for some of the previous events we've done, like Relay for Life and Labor Day. We've kind of made a name of ourselves with the pupusas. So hopefully the people who's ate at those events had one and they're going to be like, oh yeah, the Mountain Fiesta, I know them.
So what are your plans for after you graduate from the academy?
I plan on attending Lee University, but my backup choice will be the University of Tennessee, and I'm planning on majoring in pre-med.
Oh, that's neat. Well, thank you for being here with us today, Bailey. Thank you for joining us on this segment of Shining Knots.
What do we know about learning? It takes place beyond the pages of a book. We learn by exploring, by trying new things, by connecting, by sharing. We learn by taking chances and dreaming big. At Lincoln Memorial University, learning is beyond the books. It's everywhere.
Hello and welcome to Night's Camera Action. I'm Chrissy Bradley. We recently got the opportunity to take a tour of the newly remodeled middle school boys' locker room. Coach DJ Thomas took us through the changes made to the locker room to give the middle school team a place to gather and unwind before games and practices. Let's take a look at the footage.
Hi, I'm Dakita Williams, and today we're going to take a tour of the middle school boys basketball team locker room. And here to show us is our head coach, DJ Thomas. Hey, DJ.
Hey.
Okay, so will you show us around your locker room?
Sure. Obviously, as you can see, this is the finished product, but what it looked like before actually was basically a room from here to here. We had a wall that went straight across through this area. There was a water heater here in the corner, like 3 closets for changing rooms and stuff across through here. So we had to begin by knocking all that out pretty much. And then we actually were fortunate to save these lockers from the softball building right before they demoed it. And we were able to clean them up and get them moved in. And special thanks to the LMU maintenance department and Mr. J.C. Cox, who's a master woodwork guy. He did all the trim work to make these things look great.
Yeah, it looks really good.
And LMU supplied us all the ceiling tiles to make the new ceiling out, all the paint, all the carpet, everything that we've done in here. That's okay. Rodney Cochran was really good to us and making sure we had everything we needed. He also made sure they got us a new whiteboard. So basically everything here was supplied by LMU for the most part. And we're very thankful for that, for them to helping out. The fundraiser we had here a while back at He Who Dares paid for the TV that we got in here. So we got our smart TV. We can study game film and the boys can watch TV and stuff when they want to while they're in here hanging out. And of course, Lester Signs made our nameplates and everything like that, they were really great to us this year. Gave us some good price and they get good quality material. And the sign over the door obviously was made by Trish, Patrick Moore's mother. She done a phenomenal job. She makes signs, so be sure to check her out if you ever need a sign. But other than that, we just got a home here. We needed somewhere to go where we could change and be ready for games and study and be separate from the high school like we were before, so everybody can have their own space.
Thank you to everyone who contributed to support our middle school boys basketball team, and thank you for joining us for Night's Camera Action. Stay tuned for Nightlife after the break.
So we were walking to school. I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart.
want cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have
at
another
school
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Here we go. We're going to go out there in the rain. You're going to get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, good. Oh, yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. Yeah, we're getting so wet. Oh,
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas.
One in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. Do you see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic.
So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Bro?
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It's good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit savethefood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
Hello and welcome to Nightlife. I'm Shayla Pointer.
And I'm Elizabeth Melton.
The World Culture Club organized an event celebrating New Year's traditions around the world. Students gathered in Mr. Green's room to expand their knowledge of the New Year's traditions celebrated by other cultures.
Students traveled around the room with passport shopping at each country's station. Cultures featured in the event include Judaism, Thailand, Islam, Brazil, and China. Let's take a look at that footage.
So Allie, tell us a little bit about this station.
Okay, well this is the Songkran Festival. It happens every year in Thailand in April, which is the start of their new year. And basically what they do is they have huge water fights in the streets to, they say the water like cleanses the spirit. And then they build little sand castle things like this in the temple for Buddha, I guess. And then they'll sprinkle water on Buddhist images and on the monks, like here. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this station.
So I'm doing Chinese New Year, and really the main events are on the first day and the 5th day and the 15th day. And what happens on those days is the first day there's a series of parades that come through major cities, and people line the streets, and just like a normal parade here. And then on the 5th day, there's another series of parades where the dancing dragons come down the street. And most of the time, they're by surprise. They're at a random time in the day. So people come out of their offices and their homes to come watch this parade. Also on the 5th day is Hung Bao. And what happens on that day is there's red envelopes placed on people's doorsteps. Most of the time, it's newlyweds or children. And then on the 15th day, it's the Festival of Lanterns. So what happens is lanterns like these right here, there's a candle that is put in the bottom of them, and people make them float up into the sky. And what that's supposed to signify is the new year coming in and the old year floating away. It's a really big event. All the days in between, people are coming in houses. There's just feasts sprawled out on the table, and they'll come from house to house in the neighborhood. And it really brings together a sense of community in China, and it was a really interesting research project.
So tell us a little bit about your station.
Okay, so in Brazil, I have some Brazilian music playing, like some of their New Year music, but they have a big celebration. A lot of it's like in America, so they have like fireworks and everything, but it's the biggest firework show in the world, like year-round. It's always that night is the biggest firework show. And they also have like a circus and concert and everything on the beach in Rio. And thousands of people in the country believe in Yemanja, which is the god of the ocean. So they set up rituals all over the beach for her. And they have a lot of food laid out as an offering. And they get boats and everything. So when it hits 12 o'clock, they like run in the ocean and push their gifts out. And they think if the ocean pulls in the gift, that it means that the god accepted it and it will be a good year. But if it like gets pushed back out onto shore, they think it's going to be a bad omen for the year and it will be a bad year. So
tell us a little bit about your board.
Well, my board is about the Islamic New Year, and it's traditionally celebrated by attending prayer sessions with your family and then spending more time with your family. And then sometimes they have celebratory street parades, like in the pictures. And so the Islamic New Year is a little bit different than our traditional American New Year because each year it's celebrated on a different day. Like, it's not always celebrated on December 31st like us. So last year was celebrated on September 21st, this year September 11th, and next year August 31st. So it's usually around the September area. And they have different months of the year, and the first month of the year is called Muharram, and that's usually when they celebrate Muhammad's journey from Mecca to Medina.
After a brief presentation from members of the World Culture Club, students were asked a series of questions about each culture's traditions. If they answered all the questions correctly, they were given a stamp on their passport and an opportunity to win the grand prize of a Mountain Fiesta t-shirt and a Starbucks gift card.
Recent weather conditions have resulted in many school closings throughout the region. J. Frank White Academy students were able to carry on in their studies online. J. Frank White Academy issues online days in the event of inclement weather, allowing students and teachers to continue lessons via the internet.
Students use their school-issued iPads to log on to the school's online portal and complete assignments. The J. Frank White Academy broadcast team took the opportunity to record their personal online day experiences. Let's take a look.
Today is an online day, and we have to make a video, like showing what we do during an online day. But all I've done is work on my online day stuff, so I guess I could just run you through what an online day is. So for me, I have 5 classes, which usually people have 6 classes, but I have 5. And so I spend about 6 hours working on my statistics because I put it off to the last minute and I have like 3 days worth of work. This video is only going to be like 2 minutes long, so that's how much time I spent on it. I walked my dog. And I've spent the rest of the time doing my sociology homework for my college class.
Students were asked, what are some of the advantages of having online days? Here are a few of the responses. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the J. Frank White Academy News.